Hello, everybody. This is José Ignacio from the Uncomfortable Dialogues 2022.
I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you Violeta Noya. She's a unique CEO with ample expertise in multiple industries, from marketing, media, real estate, and telecom. Violeta is a professional with excellent strategic insights and wisdom. When facing adversity and challenges, her default mode is to foster collaboration, diversity, and inclusion, thus creating a very creative environment and lasting experience to everybody. Violeta is also an entrepreneur, an active board member, and a very committed woman for closing the gender gap that we unfortunately have around the world. Without any further ado, welcome to our Uncomfortable Dialogue 2022, Violeta. How are you doing today?
Oh, fine, thank you, Ignacio. And what about you? I'm very honored to be here with you, to be part of this whole project that you're interviewing CEOs to see how they face adversity. So I'm very happy to be here with you.
Violeta, and as you well know, the whole purpose of this dialogue is to really create a platform for you to really share your own experience. And part of the experience that I want to explore today with you is, so what do you think about leadership facing adversities?
Leadership is about facing adversity, in my opinion. So my whole life is being facing adversity from various places I've been to. So when we started this pandemic, I was deciding to be entrepreneur. In the beginning of the pandemic, I was starting my new out-of-home company. And when I was starting this company, I was selling out-of-home media. And people in the pandemic were supposed to be at home, and the brands didn't want to be in the streets. So I had to shift very quickly my strategy. I did an agreement with my employees, and I kept the business. And I took the advantage to develop the first real-time bidding platform for out of home. So instead of stopping the business, I took my time to innovate and bring to the market the most innovative platform, real-time bidding platform for out of home. So I started the whole market in Israel, in Canada, the United States, saw what the best solutions were, and I brought one very special to Brazil that we are developing to suit the Brazilian market.
But I assume that this is not the only experience that you have had. So you have had multiple experiences facing adversity throughout your career.
Yes, in the whole country were facing adversity. People were starving during the pandemic, and we, as in Mulheres do Brasil, we were very focused in helping the country because I love Brazil, and what we think is that we can make a much better country, and not just waiting for the politicians to do it. And so we created a fund called Donas de Mim, that we gave microcredit for women, because when we help women, we help the whole family. Just by giving them 2,000 reais, they can start buying a fridge and an oven in their homes. They start cooking, selling food, and they put the kids back to school. They put food in the house. So it was a great initiative that we also started during the pandemic. It's called Fundos Dona de Mim. Yeah, what I feel is that since I am a CEO and I achieved a very important leadership position, I feel that I have the obligation to help other women. So what happens that lots of women, they think that it's not possible to balance, to be a good wife, a good mom, and a good professional to achieve the highest position in the hierarchy of the companies. So I'm very much into that. I started Elevate in 2008. It's been almost 20 years now that we give speeches, that we do events to connect women and tell them that they can, that it's possible to be a great mom, it's possible to be a CEO, that women can be wherever they want to be. And now I am a CEO, entrepreneur, I am in the board of companies, and my son just got accepted to Stanford. My daughter is going to be a doctor. So I really like to give the example that it's possible. I'm very much into be a role model to show women that we can be wherever we want to be. The first thing is really know how to balance and to be confident of ourselves. Because normally, when women apply to a job, normally they think they cannot go to a higher position because they're not good enough. So to work in the outstream of women and helping them connect to other women and make this network of sorority that one help each other, and it's a very good way to promote this the gender equality. And also, when I know of a job position, many times I tell women, please apply to this job, because many times people just tell, oh, I'm gonna hire that man.
Violeta, if we analyze the history of the human race and we look at all the crises and adversities that we have solved throughout the years, it looks to me that every time the crisis will continue to be in crescendo mode. So every time the adversities will be far more complex, more dynamic, more difficult to solve. So in other words, if we use the Walt Disney's analogy, do you think that the future is going to be more Hakuna Matata? Or do you think it's going to be tougher or more resilient for everybody to overcome them?
As an entrepreneur, I'm always optimistic. On the other hand, I think that we have to prepare a lot more. So I'm happy that my boy is going to Stanford, that I have a very good team that's developing this disruptive real-time bidding for out of home. Because more and more, if you look at the 60s, companies would last 60, 75 years. And nowadays, it's not happening anymore. Now it's 10 years, 15 years, because there are a lot of startups disrupting the market. So if you don't really look at the future, look at your customers, what they need, what's the job to be done, if you're not very clear about that, there is a startup, a set of smart people that's just going to destroy your business in 1-2 years, and it's just so fast. Look what's happening to the bank industry. So many fintechs stealing lots of shares, and the young people are using new type of cards. They're not going to the traditional banks. All the industries are being disrupted. So either you really get prepared and you innovate and you have a very lean company that's try fast, agile, or you can be disrupted the next day.
Thank you very much for the time. Muito obrigado. And for everybody watching this podcast, if you happen to have any question to Violeta or to myself, just write it down here in YouTube and LinkedIn, and we'll get back to you.